What Russell Wilson is doing right now should fire up every single diehard Giant fan. And if you're ready to see Russell Wilson in a New York Giants uniform playing football, if you're ready for Giants football to be back, go down right now and hit that thumbs up icon. Welcome into Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as we talk about Russell Wilson already being a leader for the New York Football Giants. It hasn't even been a month since Russ has put pen to paper to join this football team, but he is already going out of his way and doing more than he needs to make sure this team is ready to rock and roll when they report to 1925 Giants Drive. Russ already this week is starting to put together workouts with his future teammates. That way, when they show up to camp here in a couple of weeks following the NFL draft, they are ready to rock and roll. Russell Wilson, pictured here on screen, already worked out with Daniel Bellinger and tight end Greg Dulcic, who spent time with him at the Denver Broncos. And I love that Russ is already doing things like this, getting on the same page as Daniel Bellinger and working with this team's weapons to make sure they are not going to skip a beat when they have to play. But it's more than just working out with Daniel Bellinger and Greg Dulcich. He's working out with the wide receivers as well. Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, and second-year tight end Theo Johnson out of Penn State. I love seeing a quarterback do these types of things, and I love putting in the extra work because I believe as a quarterback coming to a new team, you need to have the timing with your receivers down pat. You need to know how they move. You need to know where they want to catch the football and how they get open. And you need the receivers to learn how you want to throw the football and where you like to put it. You got to be on the same page, and the best way to do it is just rep it out and rep it and rep it and rep it. And he's already doing it with Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, Theo Johnson, Daniel Bellinger, and Greg Dulcich. I do wish Malik Neighbors was there, though, and I'm not upset that Malik Neighbors is there. It's the offseason. I'm sure he's got a lot on his plate in his itinerary at this point. But I wish Neighbors was there. And I wish Jalin Hyatt was there as well. I loved that Russell Wilson, in his introductory press conference with the New York Giants, talked about Jalin Hyatt being an untapped wide receiver when it comes to his potential. And I think Hyatt is literally a match made in heaven with Russell Wilson. Like, if Hyatt's going to work out, Russell Wilson is going to be the type of quarterback that helps him work out. I love this. Like, you're new to the team, you're the quarterback, you're a leader, you're kind of a legend in the NFL at this point. You are on your way to Canton, Ohio, and you're making sure the New York Giants know this is my football team, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to earn that and also win football games. Like, get to work. Let's go, baby. Let's start throwing the ball to Darius Slayton. Let's start working with Theo Johnson and Daniel Bellinger. And let's get up to speed when it comes to those option routes with Wan'Dale Robinson. Like, if you want to move this offense from bottom of the NFL to anywhere close to the top 15, you're going to need to be on the same page, and they're already going out and working as a team to do that. This isn't the first time we've seen a quarterback do this with the New York Giants. Eli Manning would always take a week and a half in the summer and take his teammates to the University of Duke. We saw that all the time. We saw him do that and get ready. They would play basketball. They would spend a week together, get to know each other, and get on the same page. And we've even seen Daniel Jones over the last couple of years do things like that. There was one, I think it was last year or the year before, they went out to some lake and they got together and they worked out and they partied for a week and they just do what teammates do. Got to know each other. I love that. And I love that Russell Wilson is already doing that before he's even met all the team, and he's had his first organized team activity at this point. I am hoping that Russ does do what Eli and Daniel Jones did as well, which is more of this. Hopefully it takes a week or two or a couple of different weeks throughout the summer to get everybody together. I'm talking offensive line. I'm talking running backs, tight ends, and wide receivers all together, one spot to get together to try to gel and build that team chemistry, because I really do believe that's extremely important in the National Football League. And, like, to put this full circle, Russell Wilson knows that this is his last chance to be looked at as a day one starter in the NFL. Like, this is if the Giants stink this year, and Russell Wilson stinks this year, no one's going to go out there in the offseason of 2026 and sign Russell Wilson to be their 1,000% sure starting quarterback in week 1, which he already is with the New York Giants. And Russell Wilson knows there's also another side of that coin where if he plays well, Giants are probably going to bring him back. And he could maybe be this team's quarterback for a couple of different years. Like, if you put Russell Wilson on a lie detector right now and you said, what is the best case scenario for you and the Giants this year? I think one of the things he would say is, I play good enough to where they want me back the following season. Like, he's 36 years old. I get it. But there's still tread left on those tires as a 36-year-old quarterback in the National Football League. And we know Russ already putting his all into it, and he's going to do that because he's wanted to be a Giant for quite some time now. When he first asked out, or wherever the situation and how it unfolded in Seattle, we know that the New York Giants are at the top of his list of teams that he wanted to go play for. He had a free agency visit with the Giants before signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm pretty sure that if the Giants told him, you're going to be our starter over Daniel Jones, he would have been on the Giants last year. And now he is on the Giants this year. He wants to be this team's quarterback. And at 36 years old, he's probably not looking at this as, I get one more year in the NFL and I'm done. You probably think, if you're Russell Wilson, if I play good enough in this year, they'll bring me back. And if I play the football that I know I can play, maybe the Giants look at me as a 2 to 3 to maybe even 4-year bridge quarterback, a veteran that they can lean on, that pulls you out of purgatory and has you in contention in the NFC East and playing meaningful football games in the month of January. And I don't mean meaningful football games like Week 17 against the Colts that take you out of the number 1 pick. I'm talking about maybe getting in to the wild card and into the playoffs. Look, if the Giants win 7, 8 games this year, I'm bringing Russie back. Like, I am. Like, the Giants have one of the hardest schedules in the National Football League, and we're going to take a look at that in a little bit. But the Giants won 3 games this past year. If they win 7 games, they double their win total. Brian Daboll is back. Joe Shane is back, and I am bringing Russell Wilson back to be my starting quarterback for 2026 with maybe the idea of adding a younger quarterback to be that guy down the line. But shoot, you win 8 games? You go 9-8? You fall your way into the playoffs somehow? I bet that Russ could maybe sign a 2 or 3 year deal with the New York Giants. I don't think it's the craziest thing in the world to think. A lot more to talk about in a second, but I want first all the real ones to sound off in the comment section for me. The geniuses, the experts, and the odds makers out west have set the Giants' win total this year at 6.5. I want you to decide. You taking over? You taking under? 6.5 wins for Big Blue this year. Let me know. Also, get hooked up with our proud sponsor of today's show, and that is Game Time. If you're looking to buy tickets to a sporting event, maybe a theater event, a concert, or a comedy show coming up, get it with Game Time, the best ticketing app there is. You get the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. Prices actually drop as the events get closer. So if you're a little bit of a procrastinator like I am, you're going to love Game Time. And if you love saving money, listen up. Use our promo code CHATSPORTS, that's CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. I've used all the ticketing apps out there. Now the only one I use is Game Time because I know I'm getting the best seats for the lowest price guaranteed. And I also find the app super user-friendly. You get to see your seat view inside the app when you're debating on which tickets to buy. You get to access your tickets from your phone when you're going into the stadium. And it's easy to resell your tickets as well if things come up and you can no longer go. I know Giants games are still a couple months away, but the Knicks and their playoff run is about underway. You can go watch the Knicks at the world's most famous arena or on the road, no matter where you are. And the Yankees and their season has started. And you can go see the Torpedo Bats in person. So get hooked up with our proud sponsor, Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use that promo code CHATSPORTS. That's CHATSPORTS for $20 off first purchase. Terms do apply. Use that Game Time Picks feature that you see in the middle of your screen and the all-in pricing. That way, you don't get hit in fees when you get to checkout. What time is it? It is game time. Be a real one. Support the show. Support the sponsor. When it comes to 6.5 wins for the New York Giants this year, that number is almost already doubled. When that number first came out, it was set at 3.5 wins. And so many people took the over that they started to have that number rise. Give me the over on 6.5. I am drunk off the Russie Kool-Aid. Like, I am all in on Russell Wilson. And he's not the reason you're going to win 7, 8 games, but he's going to play a major role in that. And for the Giants to win more than 6.5 games, they need the injury gods to maybe take a year off from punishing this football team. I need Andrew Thomas. I need Dexter Lawrence, Malik Neighbors, and Brian Burns to play more than 14 games this year. Like, if you tell me right now, Marshall, Andrew Thomas, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, and Malik Neighbors play 17 games, guaranteed, I'd go put a couple of paychecks on the New York Giants to win more than 6.5 games. But I got to know that they're healthy. Because if they're not, we'll see what happened last year, where the season falls off the train tracks. It's going to be tough to get to 7 wins, even if you are healthy. Like, this is a loaded schedule. It's always going to be tough playing in the NFC, especially when the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles were in the NFC Championship game. Then you get to play the Green Bay Packers at home, Minnesota Vikings at home. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs come to town. Justin Herbert and Harbaugh take a trip to MetLife. And the San Francisco 49ers. And then you hit the road to play the Bears, Sean Payton and the Broncos, the Detroit Lions, the big bad Las Vegas Raiders. Totally a joke. If the Giants don't beat the Raiders this year, I'm crashing out. And the Saints, who now might not be with Derek Carr this entire year. And the New England Patriots. Like, you should feel like you can win that game, and I'm sure they feel like they can win the game against the Giants. Like, yes, the schedule is hard, but we see the NFL every single year turn on its head. You see half the teams that make the playoffs pick inside the top 10. And you see a lot of division losers go to division winners. There's no guarantee that all these teams that were good last year, like the Vikings and the Chargers and maybe even a team like the Broncos, are good next year. We'll see. What makes me confident the Giants could be better at least than they were last year and maybe close to that 6.5 win total is they have a legit NFL quarterback. And legit NFL quarterbacks, when games are tight, they find ways to win. And the New York Giants, they haven't had a great quarterback. And I'm not saying Russell Wilson is great. They haven't had a outcome changer at the quarterback position in quite some time. The Giants were 1-8 in one-score games last year. And you won 3 games on the year. Can you get to, instead of 1-8, like 3-6? Can you get to 4-5, still under 500, and find a way to win a couple of other games, and maybe the ball bounces your way this year in those games? I don't know. You're going to need Russ to play well, though. And Russ did play well for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year, especially in the first half of that season. And then his offensive line went to shit. And then George Pickens got hurt and started to try to just headbutt every other corner that he faced up against. And then they had a really tough schedule down the stretch of the year, playing teams like the Ravens and the Philadelphia Eagles and teams on that caliber. But shoot, man, if you tell me in 11 games this year, Russ is going to throw for 16 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, which if you scale that over 17 games is close to 25 touchdowns and less than 10 interceptions, and he completes 63.7% of his passes, like if he just does what he did for Denver in the 2023 season, but instead of 15 games, it's 17 games, and he throws for 29 touchdowns and 10 picks and 3,300 yards, Giants are going to win 6.5, 7 games. And to be honest with you, I'm excited to watch him. Like, I know that I want you, everyone knows I want an Aaron Rodgers. And you know what? If I could get Aaron Rodgers right now, I would still do it. But Russell Wilson's a Giant. And there's a tweet out there where I said, if the Giants sign Russell Wilson, I will convince myself the Giants can win games with him. And I've done that. And I'm all in on Russie. And I'm hoping that Russie takes this wide receiver room to a new level. Because we know Malik Neighbors is special. Question is Wan'Dale Robinson going to be able to elevate his game? Former second-round pick with Russ. Can Darius Slayton, one of the best deep threats consistently in the NFL, does he get paired with Russell Wilson, one of the best deep ball throwers, and does he play at a new level? I know we love Malik Neighbors, and I know that he gets some respect around the NFL. It's not enough respect, and it's not enough love. We just saw Malik Neighbors in 15 games put up 109 grabs for 1,200-plus yards and 7 touchdowns. And he had Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, and Tim Boyle throwing him the football. Maybe the worst quarterback room of all time. With Russell Wilson, if Malik Neighbors plays 17 games, he's going to catch 1,500 yards, maybe even 10-plus touchdowns. That's what a good NFL quarterback does with a superstar wide receiver like Malik Nabers. Russ can help Nabers become a top 5 guy. Like, I already think he's a top 10 player at the receiver spot in this league. But by this time next year, if he plays 17 games, he's going to be looked at as a unanimous top 5 wide receiver. I'm also interested to see how Slayton plays with Russ. Darius Slayton, as a deep threat, was putting up 700-yard seasons every single year with Daniel Jones, who doesn't throw the deep ball well. And now you got one of the best deep ball throwers in NFL history. I am a little bit concerned about Wan'Dale Robinson because Wan'Dale is a perfect receiver for Daniel Jones. 4th, 3rd, and 8. Where's Wan'Dale at 5 yards? Russ isn't really that type of guy. Russ wants to throw it past the sticks. Russ wants to put pressure. And as shifty and separation that Wan'Dale can create on underneath routes, I don't know if he's a deep threat. And obviously, Russ can do more than just throw the deep ball. But I'm just curious to see how that dynamic and that duo is going to work. Like, I like Wan'Dale, and I don't love Slayton. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think he's a good wide receiver 3. And Nabers is an all-pro. The Giants need to add another player there. Like, I would like to see Joe Shane select a wide receiver before the 2 7-round picks. Like, get one in round 3. Get one in round 4. Can you walk out of the top 105 where you have 5 selections with a game-changing wide receiver and pair him with Malik Nabers? And you got a duo for the foreseeable future. Maybe Travis Hunter at 3. I'm still hoping. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram, @MarshallArena_. Hit me up, and let's go Big Blue.